I'm going to talk about supplements. Before I get into my recommendations, I just wanted to say that there's a lot of money to be made from supplements, and there's a lot of businesses willing to exploit you to make money from selling crap supplements. So before you buy any supplements because of their magical benefits, maybe think about what I've said in this video and message me to say, should I think about using this? And I'll say, maybe, might be worth a go. It's not that expensive, so you might as well. Or don't bother wasting your money, it's a load of rubbish. So my recommendations, there's kind of 4 or 5 recommendations. They are fish oil supplements, vitamin D supplements, creatine monohydrate, and then if you really want to, maybe a multivitamin, maybe caffeine or something that will help. So in terms of fish oils, really beneficial for cardiovascular health, may reduce depressive symptoms, they're good for strength gains, they help with the elderly so that they don't get as much muscular decline with age, and there's loads more benefits, but fish oils are really, really helpful in your diet. So if you're not eating 2 portions of oily fish a week, then I'd recommend you start taking some sort of fish oil supplement. If you're a vegetarian, you can get an algae supplement, which is similar, it's just a bit more expensive. All of the supplements that I'm recommending are fairly cheap, so don't worry about spending a fortune, they're relatively cheap. If you're not having the fish oil, or if you're not eating fish in your diet, that oily fish, then you want to be having around 1,000 milligrams of EPA plus DHA a day. So EPA and DHA are the fatty acids that come from fish. If you look on the packaging for your fish oil supplement, it'll tell you how much EPA and DHA is in there. If they add up to 1,000 milligrams, that's a good amount, or somewhere around 1,000 milligrams. Anywhere between 500 and 1,500 is a good amount to take daily. Vitamin D, if you are deficient, there are loads of negative health implications. Cardiovascular disease, depression, it's associated with increased risk of irritable bowel syndrome, with cancer. It's just not good to be deficient in vitamin D. If you feel like you've got low energy, you feel a bit low mood, go and visit your GP. Ask if they'll refer you for blood tests so that you definitely know how much vitamin D you've got in your body. Otherwise, you can pay for a vitamin D test and they'll give you quite an accurate result. I can recommend a company that'll do that. It's about, I think it's about 70, 80 pounds for a test, or go visit your GP. It's likely they'll send you for a referral anyway. Because we live in the UK, you don't get a lot of sunlight, you don't get a lot of vitamin D coming from that sunlight, so it's worth taking a vitamin D supplement. I recommend you take about 2,000 IUs, so that's the measurement, per day, just so you're getting enough so that you don't become deficient, especially throughout winter. If you don't want to take it throughout summer because you're outdoors a lot, fine, but winter, I'd recommend you take vitamin D. I take it all year round. I take a little bit more in winter and a little bit less in summer. But yeah, it's good for weight loss, it's good for strength gains, it helps you feel better, your mood's better. Worth it. It's cheap and it doesn't really have any negative implications for your health. Third one, creatine monohydrate. You can get it relatively cheap. It helps with strength gains, with muscular growth, with your endurance levels. If you're getting bad night's sleep, then it can help improve your performance the next day rather than having those tiredness related decline in performance. So make sure you're taking creatine. If you're not, it's not something you have to take. I just think it's something that will help, especially because you're coming to train with me. You can get it from myprotein.com. It's relatively cheap. If you have 4 scoops a day, which is 20 grams a day for a week, and then go on to 1 scoop a day forever, that's what you need to do. So you need to load it up first and then just continue taking it daily. Mix it with juice, mix it with a protein shake, mix it with whatever you want to mix it with. So yeah, caffeine next. Caffeine is good if you're feeling tired or if you just want to improve your performance during a training session. So if you know that you're doing something specific in a training session and you just want all the energy for it, have some caffeine about an hour before you train. There you go. Don't have it too late in the day or it'll affect your sleep. What else is there? Multivitamin. You don't really need to take a multivitamin unless you feel like your diet isn't very varied or if you're on a very low calorie diet. That's all I've got to say on a multivitamin. It's up to you which one you go for. Some are better than others. Don't waste your money on it unless you really, really feel like you need to. Protein powder, I don't think is a supplement, so I'm not going to talk about it. It's more of a food stuff. If you want more protein in your diet, get a protein powder. A few ones that I'm not going to mention, or I'm not going to talk about, but I'll mention are Cherry Active, beta-alanine, and sodium bicarbonate. If you want to talk about those things, you can do. They are there specifically for people who want to get involved in sporting activities. So don't worry about them unless you really want your performance to, if you've done everything to get your performance up to a level and then you want just that little tiny extra edge, they might help. But everything else, pretty useless really. Avoid horny goat's weed, don't go to your Chinese medicine doctor. And yeah, they're the supplements that I recommend. If you have any questions, as always, just send me a message and I'll hopefully answer them. There's supplements.